Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to be reacting to
Eurovision faces pressure from EU lawmakers over rigged televoting.
People Are
The
Serious
Eurovision
About
Song Contest
Eurovision.
is facing pressure from the European Parliament with growing concerns about possible
Oh,
televote manipulation. Just 2 weeks after this year's contest concluded, questions over the integrity of the public vote have intensified. A group of 12 EU lawmakers has sent a formal letter to Eurovision's organizer, the European Broadcasting Union, urging the release of full voting data.
The European public deserves full transparency regarding this year's voting process, including the extent of state-sponsored advertising and any undeclared sponsorship.
The MEPs specifically point
So interesting, because this seems like the actual governments are sending this notice, not just the the Eurovision people, but the government. So I feel like that's kind of a big deal that the government is getting involved too. Because there's one thing that okay, the Eurovision local Eurovision organizer is dissatisfied. Okay, whatever, who cares? But if the actual government is doing that, I feel like that carries way more weight than just the organizers.
to the alleged promotion of Israel's entry, reportedly supported by campaigns run by the Israeli government advertising agency. The controversy is further fueled by a renewed debate over Israel's involvement in the contest, a flashpoint for the second consecutive year.
If the EBU fails to act, there is a risk of completely discrediting Eurovision Song Contest in next year Eurovision. We want to focus on the music, not on scandals.
Ahead of the contest,
He's right. You want the competition to be about the music, not about politics. But it's not. It's easier said than done, though, because there's always the diaspora voting, which is essentially politics too. You're supporting your home country, right? So it's hard to accomplish that.
Eurovision director Martin Green acknowledged in an interview with Euronews that politics inevitably seep into the event.
We're not a political competition. We try and avoid politics. But of course, if you gather in this year 37 countries from around the world, it will also always prompt discussion and debate. And that's a good thing.
The MEPs have called on the EBU to also commission an independent audit and implement safeguards to prevent political interference in future contests.
Oh, what is MEPs?
MEPs.
Yeah, I don't know, because it said the MEPs. I don't know. Interesting. So I think the update is the fact because we saw, that okay, people called for investigation, but I think the update is the fact that the actual lawmakers are asking for this investigation.
How come? What would be their stake in that?
I
Do they send money?
Not that they send money. I guess. Well, how come? My guess would be, like how here in the States we have representatives, and they basically you can call them up. Well, not them, but call their staff up and say, I don't like
For a
this.
competition? Voting
I
competition?
think if you get a lot of calls about a particular issue, whatever that issue is, whether it's voting competition, TV show, I don't want like this TV show on my TV, like stuff like that. I think then those lawmakers have to take your concerns into account when there reaches a certain threshold, because you elect them.
Because I'm thinking, because people pay for their votes, so if they think there's fraud in
Okay, that's
that,
a good one
they
too.
can
Yeah.
challenge the process.
That's good.
What's the accounting? They
Right.
will probably want to revote or
That's
validate.
that's actually a great point. I didn't even think about it. Yeah, because people spend money on it.
Yeah.
And it seems like okay, somebody's basically not
Defrauding.
not stealing your money, but defrauding you.
Yeah.
That
Because
make
while
it,
you're voting,
it dilutes your votes.
Mm-hmm.
I see that. That's a great point. So yes, I think this why the lawmakers are getting involved is probably because the people starting getting upset, and it escalated to that.
Wow, that's pretty
Which is,
powerful.
that's how it should be, honestly.
Yeah.
That's people should have that power because they spend the money.
Can I see the comments?
Yeah, they the money they spend shouldn't be for nothing.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I understand that.
Yeah. Now, we are not saying Israel for a fact did anything wrong, but it has to be investigated, and then we can see if they actually did anything or not.
But the complaint is overall, or is it
Well, I think it's targeted at
targeted?
Israel mostly. even if everything happened fair and square, a voting system is broken where people who don't even watch the contest can throw 60 votes to a single country for political reasons, but people who actually watch the show maybe 5 times at most. The 20 votes per phone number system has to go, and the ad campaigns by government have to be banned. Otherwise, the contest might as well be who can pay for the most YouTube ads.
What I can see is that maybe it doesn't matter if you watch or not, but did it come from a valid line, or it was like someone who created 100 lines and started spamming? I think this is improper.
Yeah, I think so. 20 votes per phone has to go. Not gonna happen. That's how they make money. They're not gonna reduce the amount of money they make. Absolutely not in that sense. But to ban government campaigns, if that's what you choose to do, I don't have a problem with that. Right now I don't have a problem with what Israel did because that's allowed per rules. They didn't just because the government ran the ads. Okay, the rules allow that. Yes, allegedly. But if the government, if they do decide to ban the governments, I don't have a problem with that either because it's not a governmental competition. Why the fuck you need the government involved in that? Shouldn't be. Government shouldn't be involved. It's just like government is not involved in sports, in tennis. What? The government is not involved. So why? This is kind of sports. You know. Just look.
I don't know if I can think of, like, how in football some calls by the referee, people can say, oh, this is bad, or how Tom Brady, he reduced the ball,
Deflate gate.
yeah, and they had to do a whole investigation
Yes.
for this. So
This is
that's
the
probably
same
what they
thing. It's
want.
the same thing. Yes, that's what they
Yeah.
want, and it should be investigated if the people are riling up. And honestly, Israelis should want it investigated. Because they want,
Yes, to clear your name.
they would
Clear your
want, they
name.
need to clear their name.
Clear
So
your name, and also the attitudes, the feelings, the vibes,
Yes.
kind of clear the air a little
Yes.
bit,
If-
because people making these claims, you don't want your name to be cleared.
right, if they didn't do anything wrong, if everything Israelis did is by the book, by the rules, they honestly, I would like to see Israel get on the stage and say we want the results investigated. That I would take it okay. You stand on it, I appreciate that, because then they know we didn't do nothing wrong. Check it. And if you check it and it comes out that Israel didn't do nothing wrong, well then
You have
they
to
they
pay
can
the money back. Refund.
no, but they can stand proud and say, look, all y'all talking shit while we didn't do nothing. Because if they truly didn't know they did nothing wrong, they should also be the 13th country or whatever to submit the investigation request. Because if you didn't do nothing
Yeah.
wrong, you have nothing to guide. You want it investigated to clear your name.
Like, there's an athlete that was pulled from the race because she was tested for marijuana, but then she took an independent test.
Shakari?
Yeah, one of the people, but they took the sample now from the hair that can show for years and years and years and years your history, and she was clear. No, the boxer. She's a boxer.
Oh, I don't know.
But she was cleared after to show that, the test that she took previously was inaccurate, and the one she took was like more even a higher level type of test.
When you were innocent, you want it investigated.
You want to fight for your innocence.
Yeah, you want to prove that you don't want to.
That's
yeah.
true.
So honestly, now that we're talking about it, it's starting to look sus that Israel is not calling for investigation. They should be calling. They should really call up EBU and say, "Yo,
It would be
I want this
good. Do you know
investigated."
how good it would be to clear your name
Yeah.
and to tell countries, no, you actually really lost, and my country just got support like that? Like, that would be a flex to me.
Guys, if you're Israel supporter, you should call your government. I don't think you are, because
think
I
you
don't
should
think
clear
any
it,
of y'all
right?
watching our videos. But if you are, you should call your government truly and tell them to investigate, because you want to win or get
Yeah.
second place, but you want to do it fairly.
Because everyone thinks you're cheating.
Yes, you want to
It
prove
doesn't have to
everyone wrong.
be.
If you're not cheating, you want to prove them wrong. We're not cheating. We are that popular. Our song was that good. The performance was that good that it won the televote. That's what you want to prove.
Guys, of course, let us know your thoughts. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Join the Discord, and as always, share as much kindness as possible.